Welcome, everyone, to our Breathe this morning. My name is Sharyn, and I'm one half of the Exhale Awakening, along with my partner Marie, the other half of the Exhale Awakening. And we are going to lead you this morning on a breath of the elements in our signature style. So, um, we have no contraindications to the way that we are going to introduce the breath this morning. So you can go ahead and make yourself comfortable straight away. You can do this breath either seated or lying down. I still suggest you don't get up suddenly and things like that because we don't know, we don't know what the breath has for you today. So still take care of yourself. Still be aware that you are guiding your own journey. We're just here to point you in the right direction, but the breaths you take and the steps you take on that journey are yours. So we we will have a very um, well, we call it a sequence. We will have a sequence of breaths this morning, different breaths. So we are going to start with a full body scan as we enter into the element of water. And we're going to really get a good feel on the sensations and the movement that is happening within your body. We're then going to have some silence. So all of our breath works include an extended period of silence. So this morning it will be 2 minutes. And we'll break that silence with bird song. And um, there is scientific evidence around what happens with silence in our brains with silence and with birdsong. So not only does it kind of lower cortisol, the stress hormone, and give our whole nervous system some respite, but there's recent research where it shows that neurons, like neural are pathways are re-established um, or new pathways are made. So journaling is a really great thing to do in silence, for example. But also when we have the bird song, we grow new parts of our brain. Our brain regenerates. So it's a super interesting way of bringing breath and that regeneration together. After we've had the silence and the bird song, we'll move into our next element, the element of earth. And here we're going to kind of link in with our diaphragm and with our roots. And Marie will lead you in that breath. We'll then repeat again with silence and bird song before we move into the fire element of the breath work. And here we're going to do some very gentle nose CCB. So all I'm going to be inviting you to do at that point is to make your breath circular. So connecting the breath at the top and at the bottom. But really the focus of the breath is to breathe in kind of life force and just let go of anything that isn't serving you in this moment. So we're going to be just kind of focusing our breath through the nose on that kind of fire meditation before we have some silence and breath song. And then we move into our final element of air, where we will introduce coherence breathing and just bring balance. So bring some harmony to our thoughts and to our air-like qualities before we move into the rest of our day. So if you have any questions, by all means, pop them in the chat and one of us will pick them up. But I think without further ado, we get going and we see where the breath takes you for today. So making yourself comfortable and really just feeling the connection between you and whatever it is that is supporting you. I'm going to start the music now and invite you just to connect with your natural breath. So you're not making any changes at this point. All you're doing is just connecting in, perhaps for the first time today, or maybe you've had some moments of connection and you can feel into this moment. And notice what's present for you. Imagining that rather than lying down and it being an action that you're taking, imagine that the surface that you are lying or sitting on is rising up to meet you. And at the same time, acknowledging that gravity is holding you in place. And with those two things happening, with the surface rising and the gravity holding, just notice how little you have to do to be in this space. And as we introduce the water of the element of water into the space, we're going to consider like our whole bodily sensations. And we're going to imagine being bathed in the breath. We're going to imagine that every breath in, every inhale is cleansing and just washing away any tension or any cares. And we're going to imagine that every exhale is moving that, anything that we want to move back out into the ocean of consciousness. And all of that can be used as alchemy in our days ahead. So let's start with the first breath, just inhaling naturally, just around our toes, and then exhaling gently back into the sea of consciousness. And with your next breath, just imagine that breath wave coming up to over your toes, the soles and the tops of your feet, to your ankles. And then in the exhale, letting it go. And on the next inhale, pulling that breath up through your toes, all the way up past your ankles, over your shins and your calves, and then letting go. And then bringing that breath up over your shins and ankles and up past your knees to your thighs. And as the breath washes up, just letting it touch and support any tension, and just letting relaxation be left in its place on the exhale. And on the next inhale, pulling up through the toes, all the way up through your legs and to the kind of pelvic bone, your hips. You might want to have a little movement in there just to open it up a little before exhaling. On the next inhale now, we're coming up right the way through the lower body and into the internal organs within the torso. You might be pulling into the chakras at this point too, if that works for you, and just letting it go. Letting the breath wash through you. And the next inhale, moving up through the body to the heart, to the lungs themselves. Exhaling. And then letting the breath move up the lower extremities, up to the bottom of your spine, right the way up to the top of the spine, to your neck and to your shoulders. And exhaling down through the arms. Doing that one more time. Before we invite the breath to wash up from the very tips of your toes, all the way up your body, right the way up into past your neck, into your head, and washing away, leaving relaxation behind. Before we do one last breath, before the silence, in from the tips of the toes, right the way up to the top of your head, and just placing a smile behind your eyes before your final exhale, before the silence.
And as the bird song brings the silence to a close, maybe taking a few moments to reflect on that silence. How did that silence feel today? Did it seem to go on forever, or was it over in a blink? And we're going to move from the beautiful water cleansiness to the earth, the grounded, solid, steady earth. And in this segment, I'm going to invite you to breathe deep down into your belly and to use your diaphragm to breathe. And if it helps, just put your hands on your belly and feel it as it moves softly and slowly and down underneath your hands. And just get a feel for that, what that's like. Maybe that's the way you've been breathing, maybe it's not. And when you breathe deep into your belly, you don't have to breathe until your lungs are full. Just make sure the breath is coming down deep into your body. And find your rhythm. Find whatever rhythm suits you today. And as you're breathing deep down into your body, let the breath soften your whole body. And as you exhale, feel yourself exhaling through the back of your body or through your feet into the earth. Breathing deep into your body and exhaling deep into the earth. And as you breathe, feel your body supported, really supported by the earth, and rooted and steady. Feeling that breath going deep into your body, into your roots. Breathing deep into your belly. And with each inhale, feel yourself gathering nourishment from the earth. And with each exhale, feel yourself sink just a little bit further into the safety and the steadiness of the earth. And as your belly rises and your belly falls, feel yourself in rhythm with the whole earth. Inhale and exhale with every living thing. Feel that strength and that steadiness from the earth. And as you inhale, feel it going into your body. Maybe you can get a sense of you and the earth breathing as one. And as the music begins to fade, gently moving back into the silence.
And as the bird song brings the silence to a gentle close, just reflecting on how that silence felt for you. Did it feel any different to the first time we went into silence? What did you notice? And in our next segment, I'm going to invite you to a very, very gentle form of conscious connected breathwork. So all we're doing very slowly and mindfully, bringing in the breath through the nose, connecting at the top, also exhaling through the nose and connecting at the bottom, very, very gently. And as we bring this breath into this segment of fire, every inhale you're going to focus on bringing in life force to stoke your inner fire. And for every exhale, you're going to exhale purpose and passion. So inhaling life force, stoking your inner fire, and exhaling purpose and passion. Very slowly, gently and deep. Inhale life force. Exhale purpose. Inhale life force. Exhale passion. Stoking your inner fire. If your focus has moved, just gently bring it back to the breath. Remember, we are inhaling life force, stoking your inner fire, and exhaling purpose or passion. Inhaling life force, exhaling purpose. Inhaling life force, exhaling passion. We have 2 more minutes before our next silence. Let your breath pattern return to its natural rhythm and rest a while.
And as the silence draws to a close again and the birdsong begins, taking a moment to reflect on that silence as well. How did that silence feel? Did you notice anything different that time? And for our last breath style today, I'm going to invite you to coherence breathing. And coherence breathing just means balancing the breaths so that the inhale and the exhale are the same length or about the same length. And when you're doing coherence breathing, you can count in your head to get that balance. You can use your fingers. So touching each finger in turn, 1, 2, 3. Or you can just leave it to your body and trust that your body will bring the breaths into balance. And find the count in the coherence breath today that suits you right now in the moment. And that might be inhale for 4 and exhale for 4. Might be inhale for 5 and exhale for 5. And it might be inhale for 2 and exhale for 2. But just know as we move through the coherence breathing that you can change that at any time. And you can lengthen your breath or you can shorten your breath. Feeling what's comfortable for you today. And as you breathe and bring balance, maybe you'll feel that spaciousness as well. That spaciousness in your mind and in your thoughts. That spaciousness in your body. And finding a gentle rhythm for the inhale and the exhale. And feeling your breath move through you gently like the breeze through the trees. Balanced and flowing. And with every inhale, maybe you can feel a little bit more space. Maybe even a little bit more clarity. And maybe feeling into your body now. Do you need to make your breath longer and slower? Or do you need to make it shorter? with every breath softening into balance, feeling the space. And as we come to the last 90 seconds, if your focus has drifted, just gently bringing it back. Bringing it back to balance in the inhale and the exhale. And as the music begins to fade, letting go of any breath pattern and resting in the silence.
And as the bird song brings our silence to a close for the last time, just reflecting on the whole session, the silence, the bird song, the breath, and just allowing that to settle into your body. And as you do, bringing attention back to your body, to that connection between your body and the surface that is holding you. And beginning to bring some gentle movement, maybe to your hands, to your shoulders, perhaps introducing a stretch. And maybe a yawn. Just clenching and releasing your body. And then taking your attention to the room outside of you, maybe the noises beyond my voice and the bird song. Just widening your perception. And then remembering that you're in a Zoom room and that you're sharing this space with others, that you've breathed together and connected. And if you haven't already, preparing to open your eyes. And you can do that by creating some heat in your palms and opening your eyes into your palms, or just gently blinking them open, whatever suits you. And if you are laid down, just gently turning onto your side before sitting. I'm going to invite you now into a sharing circle, a time of community. But before I do, I'm going to stop the recording and unpin Marie and I.